The struggles were minimal, which is actually quite nice to see, but the students still, the buy-in, you know, it was like a little bit of not being force-fed anymore, or not being led to the water anymore. Yeah.
Time. And I discovered that was one of my biggest roadblocks. It wasn't necessarily that there wasn't time, it was I kept thinking, oh, there's no way, I don't have time.
I think some of the roadblocks I encountered were less with administration, less with students, and more with myself, of the confidence of being able to use PBL in the classroom, moving away from some of the things that I did before and implementing this new process. And once I kind of got that, you know, myself into into a space that I felt comfortable bringing it into classroom and bringing it forward, everything more or less moved along quite smoothly.
Me, basically, right? I'll continue to be my biggest roadblock. I think for quite some time. I don't have time. I'm busy. It's just, you know, I've got other things to worry about right now. I don't really, just me. The students will eat whatever I feed them, especially early. My biggest roadblock, if PBL hasn't been done or learning is not occurring at the high level that it should be, it's all on me. I'm my only roadblock, really. Any roadblocks from administration, but I hear that a lot. Whereas administration is the roadblock. They want results, they want charts, they want everything but learning to occur, really.
Making time to take a look at the courses that I taught and which ones could I develop, say, which ones would lend themselves to writing problems, which ones would lend themselves best to problem-based learning. But the roadblock in that was that not all courses lend themselves well to that. And then taking the time to really change the assignments that I had already developed and redoing a lot of that. So that was, you know, kind of more challenging than it's about persuading students that they were now a little more responsible for their learning. And maybe I wasn't going to just quickly hand them the answer as I might have in the past. And that took a little bit of a sell job that I was really kind of switching things up a little bit. They weren't so sure they liked that change. You know, getting them to learn that they had to do the research. They couldn't just quickly ask me for the answer. And they struggled with that.
I was really able to move forward very quickly in content. I was able to get that content that's usually dry and thick and really kind of non-engaging, you know, through in a really, you know, an interesting way.
The first year, I dictated, we're going to do a repair shop. Here's the type of repairs. I will send out the email. I will find the customers. I will tell you what repair you're working on. I will tell you when a repair is complete. I will tell you what a good repair looks like. And then, wow, okay, you can only learn as much as I know because I'm the only one delivering any learning. The second year, I delivered, we started with customer service, just so we could get over the emotional intelligence part, or at least have some awareness of what was going on. Then, I started to teach them the hardware, right? This is a cable, these are Molex connectors delivering 5 volts as a PCI E connector, just all the different standards. But while I was teaching them that, I also delivered, here's the ill-structured problem. In 2 months, you are going to run a computer repair shop. You need to know who your customers are. You need to find your customers. You need to deliver standards and protocols for how equipment is processed, and then just threw it at them. So the entire time, they were always thinking in the back of their head. And then basically, they sent out the email. They ran into lots of problems. They fixed their own problems. They had such an investment and a buy-in to this. Really, there's guys spending evenings, there's guys spending weekends, guys even spent money trying out different programs on how we're going to manage an efficient, proper help desk. Some of them visited industry and learned lots there. So the learning was just occurring all over the place. And yeah, it was awesome. So that would be a huge success story. The first year we did about 70 repairs, the second year we did over 100 repairs with less students and less resources.
I just jumped straight into it right after the course. Thought about it over the summer, and then just started straight away. Really, like not all my classes, not all my courses, but I took a couple that I knew that I would have the ability to bring PBL in a easier fashion. So I started with those, and that went well. So I started, continuing, and then by, the winter term, I had whole courses that I
Once I
taught in
actually talked about
PBL.
what PBL was about, then I brought them the problem, and then we walked through all the steps of it, had them doing their research. I tried it in just one course, is the way I walked through it. So instead of taking a whole bunch of courses, I simplified it, tried it in one spot so that I could see it.
Yep. I would say someone who's taken the class for the first time is to, leave your ego at the door, go in with an open mind, and listen for that first little while. Listen, see if there's something there that catches your attention, hooks you, and then once you're in, you can find those pieces of the puzzle that really will work for you, and then you can then apply them in your team.
So anyone new to PBL about to take the class, just really be ready, hold on. You're going to be your biggest roadblock, just give it a chance. Until you give it a chance, you're going to be a huge roadblock, you're going to take very little from it, but the second you turn that corner and you know what, just try it once, you will be amazed at what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks.
For someone who's starting to implement PBL, I would suggest taking one course and giving it a try within that course in some regard. Give it a go, see what's working, what's not, and then funnel out from there. That worked for me. I'm not sure if everything worked, but at least it was a learning process as you continue. That would be my advice.
I would say abandon fear and jump in. Start small. Don't try and revamp everything. And I guess it depends what areas you teach in. But for me, it was about getting my confidence level up. So when I took one course and did one problem and walking them through it, it was enough to give me the confidence to keep going. So just don't try and go too big too fast.